Out in the tropics, by the way, we are still kind of in that peak of hurricane season, the second week of September here. Not a whole lot going on. We've got a tropical wave that's trying to become a depression, but there's no immediate threats to the United States, nothing at least right on our doorstep. This is worth watching long term, but for the next 5 to 7 days, it does not look like it's going to be a threat to the United States. Once again, we'll watch it long term, but that's about it. Invest 96 here, trying to get its act together this morning, heading off to the west, and if there's any locations that really need to be keeping an eye on this in the near term, it's the islands in the Caribbean. So from the Virgin Islands to Puerto Rico to the islands of Hispaniola to Dominican Republic, Haiti, could see some impacts from this system as we go into Friday and especially into this weekend. So those are the places that really need to be watching this. As you look at it on satellite this morning, it's still got some sheer and dry air because there's really nothing happening on the west side, but on the east side, it's become better organized and it's on the verge of becoming a depression. We'll see what the Hurricane Center does with it through the day, but once again, it's no imminent threat to the U.S. So as it moves off to the west here, we're confident in the steering pattern over the next 5 days or so. It's riding under that ridge of high pressure that's sitting over the Atlantic. Now, next week is where things get a bit tricky, and there's about 3 different reasons for that. 1, land interaction. 2, well, what do the steering currents look like and the intensity of this storm? One thing we will be watching next week is the strength of this trough that's going to try to dig down perhaps over the eastern or western Atlantic. If this trough is strong enough, it would take Invest 96 or whatever it may be and pull it out to sea, or at least away from the Gulf of Mexico. That would be the scenario we really want to happen. Now, another scenario that we will be watching that doesn't seem as likely at this point, but it's still in the realm of possibilities, is this ridge of high pressure being a bit stronger, this trough being weaker, and, well, the trough never picks up the wave, and the wave gets a little bit closer to the U.S. So those are the 2 steering current scenarios we'll be watching. This is a week from now, so beyond that, you really don't want to speculate. There's just too many nuances in this forecast. But those are the big things we'll be watching. So the biggest unknowns right now is how much does it strengthen, how much does it interact with the land in the Caribbean, and what do the steering currents look like next week? Specifically, how strong is that trough that's trying to dig down? The stronger the trough, the better. It'll pull it out to sea. So we'll be watching it for you, but right now, no imminent threat. 7-day forecast.